The 2022 Italian Open is well underway and it's been no short of drama and entertainment. Now before I get into the results, I want to talk a bit about Naomi Osaka and some interesting developments in her career and personal life. Now Naomi is not in Rome as she pulled out ahead of her first round match versus Sarah Tormo due to an Achilles injury she sustained in Madrid. Now some people were saying that Osaka only withdrew because she was scared of her draw as she lost to Tormo in Madrid. Plus, had she won that match, she'd be facing the victor of Raducanu or Andreescu. Osaka did say last week that she wasn't too worried about the injury because she dealt with something very similar 2 years ago. However, looking closely at her practice sessions from Rome, you can see her be a little hesitant with her movement and even limp a little bit. I would normally not bat an eye at an Osaka tournament withdrawal, but this one did hit a little different, especially with Roland Garros coming around the corner so soon. Now, while Osaka might not be making a lot of noise and headlines on the court at the moment, she has garnered quite a bit of attention today after announcing that she'll be leaving the IMG management agency to start her very own company named Evolve. Osaka broke the news alongside long-term agent Stuart Dugai, who also left IMG to help the Japanese woman build her own sports and entertainment empire. Sporting superstars have been doing this very same thing more frequently, as Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, for example, both left IMG to form businesses with their respective agents. Osaka, whose contract expired with IMG towards the end of last year, told Sportico that she has big prospects for her newest venture. "I spent my career doing things my way, even when people told me that it wasn't expected or traditional," Osaka said. Evolve is the natural next step in my journey as both an athlete and businesswoman, as well as a way to continue being myself and doing things my way. I strongly believe in the power athletes have to use our platforms to drive meaningful business. At the moment, Evolve only plans on tapping on a few clients, with Naomi's primary focus being on investing in businesses. Osaka recently founded her own skincare company, Kinlo, and has equity in about 12 brands. Naomi's been quite savvy with her business endeavors, earning $52 million in endorsements in the past 12 months alone. That makes her the 20th highest paid athlete and second highest paid tennis player behind Roger Federer, who raked in a whopping $85 million in endorsements. Serena Williams also had a decent payday, making $35 million. However, Osaka hopes Evolve can evolve her annual profit from $50 million to $150 million. I really don't have much to say except for more power to Naomi. She seems to have a solid foundation and backing for this venture, and I hope to see it become as big or even bigger than Federer's Team 8 agency company, for example. Now, Osaka remains adamant that her primary focus is on tennis, and that's exactly where our focus is going to be shifting on for the remainder of this video. Defending Rome champ Iga Swiatek dominated her opening match against Elena Gabriela Rus 6-3-6 love, extending her win streak to 24. Swiatek now gets Victoria Azarenka next, who seems to be in decent form, picking up a couple of solid straight sets wins here in Italy. We could perhaps have an upset on our hands if Azarenka comes out and plays very well. Heavy on the very well. They did play earlier this year, Swiatek and Azarenka at Adelaide, and Vika did manage to push it to 3. However, clay is probably Swiatek's best surface and Azarenka's worst, so it'll likely be an uphill battle for the Belarusian. Bianca Andreescu is still alive in the draw and got by Emma Raducanu in the first round after the Brit retired mid-match due to a back injury. She next plays Petra Martic, who beat Anett Kontaveit. Martic is somewhat wishy-washy and hasn't done much for a while the past year, but she really seems to always turn up on clay, especially here in Rome, where she made the semifinals last year. She had to qualify to make it into the main draw, by the way, where she picked up a solid win over Karolina Muguruza in the first round. I am a bit worried about Kontaveit because, as I mentioned in my tournament preview, she's been struggling a lot since Doha, now going 3-4 since. We all know indoor hardcourt tennis is her bread and butter, but she's too good a player to be having these subpar results. Aryna Sabalenka, on the other hand, dominated Shuai Zhang 3-love and now gets Madrid finalist Jessica Pegula, who got a walkover from Anaya Kalinina, who's been in pretty good form herself, by the way. Kalinina is definitely going to be a dangerous floater for Roland Garros if she's healthy enough to compete. Speaking of dangerous floaters, Amanda Anisimova continues her solid, consistent results for 2022, beating Belinda Bencic for the second time this season, once again in straight sets. Anisimova now gets countrywoman Danielle Collins, who got a very solid win herself over Simona Halep. Even though Danielle's the high-ranked player, this was a bit of an upset because Simo did look pretty solid in Madrid and clay of course is her specialty. However, we can't forget that Danielle enjoys the red dirt herself, reaching the French Open quarterfinals a couple years back. Plus, she won her maiden WTA Tour title on clay last season. I did think Halep was going to win this match because I was worried Collins was going to have another erratic performance like she did with Andreescu in Madrid last week. But she came out and played a very composed match and still showcased some of her excellent shot making. This was so funny to me, by the way. Look at Danielle's reaction after that backhand winner, then Halep glaring her down in the background. Anisimova and Collins is definitely a match to watch as they have very similar game styles and it will be their first meeting between one another. Now, unlike Collins, Garbine Muguruza was unable to progress today, falling to Kazakhstanian Yulia Putintseva 3-6, 7-6, 6-1. This match was yet another utter disappointment from Muguruza, who served forward at 6-3, 5-3 and was up 30-love the following game. After dropping the second set, she just seemed to totally collapse. To me, it seems like it's been more mental than anything for Garbine, and the confidence looks very shaky. I remember at Indian Wells, she was up 6-love, 3-love versus Alison Riske, and still ended up losing that match. This really shouldn't be that surprising though, unfortunately, because it just follows another common trend in Muguruza's career, where she has about 2 good seasons followed by 2 crappy ones. Unfortunately for her, the racket just hasn't been talking in 2022. She needs to really figure it out quick because the ranking is slipping and it's slipping fast. There was a bit of drama in this Putintseva match, by the way, as Yulia actually hit Garbine with an approach shot at one point. Muguruza wasn't having it at all, but Putintseva didn't care and ended up having the last laugh, literally giving this hilarious reaction after sealing the deal. The handshake, as expected, wasn't that warm and friendly. Up next for Putintseva is Ons Jabeur, who really deserves a round of applause. Quick, let's give Ons Jabeur a round of applause, everyone. Round of applause. That's enough. Jabeur, of course, made history this past weekend when she became the first Arab woman to win a WTA 1000 title, taking the trophy in Madrid. She really didn't have a lot of time to relish in the achievement, needing to fly to Rome soon after to play her first round yesterday, beating a testy Kirstea, then coming back again today to claim another straight sets victory, this time over Tomljanovic. I'm very impressed by Ons because she's been playing tournaments non-stop, literally non-stop, since Indian Wells. I am a bit worried that her body won't be able to handle all that tennis, but for now at least everything seems fine. Rivaling Swiatek Azarenka for the most anticipated third round match is Coco Gauff and Maria Sakkari. Gauff picked up 2 straight set victories, including a 1-4 rout over Angie Kerber in round 1. Sakkari earned a solid opening round win herself, dominating Madrid semi-finalist Ekaterina Alexandrova 3-2. Gauff and Sakkari actually played each other last year in Rome, which Coco took in 3 sets. Sakkari did take their last beating, which was the Doha quarterfinals this year. I get Coco the edge in my tournament preview because Sakkari has been kind of having a slump since Indian Wells. However, this win over Alexandrova could be an indicator that things are on the up and up for the Greek woman. Moving on, Karolina Pliskova ends her streak of making back-to-back Rome finals after falling to Joe Teichmann in the third set battle. This is not a surprising loss at all because Teichmann had just reached the Madrid semifinals. Also, Karolina has been struggling since coming back from injury. Her game has been okay, but her draws have been tough, and she has very little confidence at the moment. Gio now gets Elena Rybakina for a spot in the quarters. Another woman who's had a low-key solid clay court season is Daria Kasatkina, who earned a win over Leylah Fernandez 7-6 in the third. She'll now play Paula Badosa, who rolled past Sasnovich 2-1. Looking at the men's side, Novak Djokovic had a solid opener, dominating Aslan Karatsev 6-3, 6-2. Novak now plays down Wawrinka in round 3, who's been having a resurgent tournament thus far, taking out 14-seed Riley Opelka, followed by Laszlo Djere. Novak, should he make it past Stan, will likely get Felix Auger-Aliassime in the quarters, who currently faces lucky loser Marcos Giron, who beat Diego Schwartzman in the previous round. Rafael Nadal, meanwhile, made his Rome debut today and opened with a decisive 6-3, 6-1 beatdown of John Isner. Rafa next plays Denis Shapovalov, who made headlines a few days ago for saying this to a rowdy Italian crowd. Denis was already on edge at this time as he received a point penalty because he crossed the net to take a look at a mark on the other side of the court. Shapovalov did apologize for the outburst, which made the news even over at TMZ. This isn't the first time this year that Shapos had a testy on-court moment, as he did call an umpire corrupt during the Australian Open. I feel like with his fiery personality, he really could be a big star on the tour, but he just isn't consistent enough. Anyways, Rafa does seem to be in really good form at the moment, but I think Shapo has a solid shot at beating the King of Clay here. He nearly beat Nadal in this exact same round last year in Rome, but Rafa was able to stave off 2 match points to prevail and ultimately win the title. Nadal is playing much better tennis right now than he was back then, and I still give him a good edge to take this. Speaking of saving 2 match points, Stefanos Tsitsipas did this today, moving past Grigor Dimitrov 6-3, 5-7, 7-6. The Greekman now plays Karen Khachanov in the 3rd round. In this same section, Jannik Sinner won the battle of the Italians, taking out veteran Fabio Fognini in 3 sets. Sinner now plays Filip Krajinovic, who knocked out 6th seed Andrei Rublev 2-4. The final section has only 1 seed remaining, and that's 2nd seed Alexander Zverev, who will face Alex de Minaur. Cristian Garin and Marin Cilic will play the winner of that one. That's all I have for you today, and let me know in the comments what you think about Osaka's money moves and all the results in Rome. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post more Rome updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.